Now we ready. Good morning. German lady. You was over there raising hell with your people? I was listening last night. Actually, that's what I went to bed to. Yeah, but they be doing some, they be swatting people over there. I ain't trying to get them mixed up with us over here. I'd rather somebody pull up on me than have the cops kick my door in. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Keishana. What's up, Felicia? How you doing, boo? Hey, Stacy. What's up, German lady? Here, you know what? Let me fix this. I'm glad a second German lady. Let me fix something really quick. What's up, you guys? I'm recharged. I was not myself yesterday. But I did not miss a beat at all. So I'm gonna have to combine some shit today. People like to sneak shit in there. They go, oh, okay, I don't see him. So let me just talk a whole bunch of shit and then delete the video. Pettyville is in the house. What's good? Ooh, y'all, it's a lot of stuff going on. Some things I'm not gonna talk about just because it's way more serious than YouTube. And that's for real. But let me. Oh shit! I didn't know my desk fan was that loud. Let me cut my desk fan off. To be honest, I don't even really need it on right now. Okay. Where you at, German lady? Oh, there you go. Type something, German lady. Make sure you don't get blocked again. Because I had to get rid of a lot of people last night. I don't usually change my list. I don't really get rid of people, but I had to yesterday just because of who they were affiliated with. Because to be honest, it takes too much time out of my day to go on my list, my mod list, and delete people. To be honest, I really don't care that much, but it is what it is. Type something, Brianna and German lady. No, So I'm gonna go serious first. Well, I guess I'll get the funny shit out the way first, cause I did want to talk about something serious. All right. Let me get the silly shit out the way first, cause I don't want to kill the moment by doing some silly shit and then talking serious, cause that'd be disrespectful. Now you got Truth Enterprise. I don't know. Y'all told me this morning when I was over there chilling in Pettyville that Truth Enterprise been over there running her damn mouth. I don't respond or I don't engage with Truth Enterprise, y'all. I don't. And to be honest, I really have not seen any of the videos that she has made. I have surpassed her. I made a video coming at her a few months ago when I first started this channel, and that will be the only response that she gets. And she's so slow that this video is still pretty much has stood the test of time. Okay, it has not expired or aged. So the only clapback she will get from me is from this re-upload that I'm about to play. Other than that, I'm not responding to her. She couldn't even go foot to foot or paw to paw with me. So I'm gonna go on and play this video, and then I'm gonna get to my other shit.
Check this shit out. When you were gone this weekend, motherfucker around here holler back song. They roasted you on the table, some shit or some shit. See now, I couldn't say nothing, cause you were gone. I ain't playing, nigga. Karaoke, baby, walking through that thing like that, like a motherfucker brick house with motherfucker painted on hell, bitch. I bet you remember you called that motherfucker later silverback gorilla, bitch. Shut the fuck, shut. Did I say no? Oh shit, say it again, say something else. Oh, say something else. Say something else, nigga.
Oh my God. Now, I had a news story for you guys about Sister Will. Associated with you. Stop fucking calling Fire Babe's name. That bitch don't give a fuck about you either. That bitch said, this bitch, the truth is really starting to make my ass itch. And I got a clean ass. Okay? And I mentioned my ass being clean because the way that this bitch is set up, I can already tell this bitch got a dirty booty. And when you got when you a girl, you gotta make sure that your booty stay clean. Everybody's booty gotta be clean. But when you got, you know, a catnip box, well, you can't have a cat box and a booty trap. That's a goddamn mouse trap right there. If your goddamn box and your booty stink, girl, that's what what you need to be worried about. Not no goddamn 1,000 subscribers, because you know what? I'm gonna give you some advice, because you the only bitch I know that every time you get online and beg for a subscriber, you lose fucking 10. Girl, you have been sitting idle at 700 to 710, bitch, for 3 years now. Girl, nobody wants to be associated with you. Stop fucking calling Fire Babe's name out, because that bitch don't give a fuck about you either. That bitch says your name one time. One motherfucking time. Okay? Other than that, you pussy pop from Sean to everybody else you talk about, bitch. If VS threw your ass a bone, bitch, you a motherfucking be on her goddamn titty.
See, when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite.
Okay, that was a re-upload. Now, some more important things that I wanted to talk about. There was a girl who was missing out here in Nevada, and initially, like, I don't know if I told y'all about my brother's story, but anyway, we have a really, really high rate when it comes to sex trafficking out here, and usually and is it New Mexico, Arizona, and Nevada? They have I guess because it's around the border, but some of the highest in the whole nation when it comes to sex trafficking. So usually when somebody ends up missing, it is due to sex trafficking. And if they're a child, I believe it says like 70, it's like around 70 or 80% of the children that end up missing out here, they're usually found. They're usually just runaways, right? That's the same thing that happened to my brother. If I haven't told, I told one on one of my channels, but I'll get into that later. But he used to run away all the time when we were younger. And one time he ran away and he was missing for like a whole year. And we didn't know what the hell went on, what happened to him. And speaking from somebody that's been in that position, it is it's like stuck in limbo, because you really can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's missing, obviously every single day you want to be doing something progressive, something that's going to move you forward. But if you don't know what direction to look in, where to go, you kind of just got to go on with your life. And it feels almost disrespectful, and it feels like you are like moving on or giving up or whatever the case may be. But it's nothing that you can do. And, you know, when your light bill and your rent and all that is due, they ain't gonna want to hear, you know, my child is missing, so wait till I find my kid and then I'll pay y'all. Don't nobody want to hear that. Okay. So we did that for a whole year. And like I said, we didn't have no fucking idea where he was at. And the cops could not find him. And we just thought the worst, you know. A whole year, y'all. Okay? And mind you, if I was my senior year of high school, he had to have been like 14, I think, or 13, 14, okay? So we got a 13 or 14-year-old missing in Las Vegas for damn near, well, not even damn near, a whole year. And since he was a repeat offender, meaning he had ran away a lot, the cops really wasn't focusing too much on trying to find him. So flash forward a little bit later, I think, yeah, you know what? After I graduated high school, my grandmother called us in the middle of the night, and my brother, and mind you, my grandmother stays in a whole different state. And my brother had showed up at her house in the middle of the night, and he had nothing but the clothes on his back. He was swollen. He had blood and shit all on his head. And he had been like that for a couple days. Basically what happened was he had ran away and met some people. Okay, because to this day, he really have not told us everything that happened, you know. Some of it kind of had to figure out, put pieces together. Some of it we just won't ever know. He's told me some things because I'm his brother, but he's told me more stuff than my mom basically. But to this day, I still couldn't really fucking tell you what happened, and it affected him a lot. Okay, once I started to this story, but yeah, he had showed up to my grandmother's house in a whole different state. He had blood all over him. His eyes were swollen shut. Okay, and he had basically got pistol whipped. He had got beat up, thrown out of the car, and pistol whipped. So because his head was busted and his eyes were swollen from them beating him up. How he got to my grandmother's house was he had somehow got away from the people. Oh, I didn't even tell you what happened. So yeah, he had met some people, and my brother, like I said, used to always try and run away, think he was grown. He met these people, they let him move in, and I don't know how he used to do this, mind you. People who run away a lot, they have this skill to where they can just meet people, and the people will move them in, and I don't know what the hell he would be telling these people, okay? Because he did it a lot. He would always meet these people, and next thing you know, he'd be gone and be living with a whole new family and shit. Like I said, I can be talking about, it's a whole nother story about him, but he had met some folks, some young people, and when I say young, I mean if I was 18 and he was 14, 15, these people were like in their 20s. So that's what I mean by young, but obviously they were too old to be fucking harboring a goddamn child. He met these folks, and I don't know who they are to this day, and he ended up moving in with them, and then they took him with them wherever the hell they went, and apparently they did not let him leave. And when he finally got a way out, and they were using him while he was with them to like babysit their kids, these are just the things that he told me, okay? But they was basically using him, and while he was there, he had to clean. Basically they was like, if you're gonna stay with us, you have to do all the shit that we say do. So they had him babysitting. They had him, and my brother, we come from a good home, okay? My brother suffers from a lot of mental illness, so he just had this, I don't know, he just always would run away, y'all. I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't even be nothing going on. I mean, it got to the point to where, like, my mom would not even, like, whoop him or punish him or nothing, because even if he did something to deserve punishment, she would not do it just because she didn't want to, at the end of the day, feel like it was her fault if he had ran away. Like, if she was to whoop him or punish him or take something away from him and he would run away, she, at the end of the day, didn't want to have to blame herself for it, which I understand, But he would just run away, y'all. I swear to God, we could not leave him by himself for 2 seconds. He would run away. He would come home, y'all. He'd go in his bedroom, and I'd go in the kitchen, get something to eat, talk to my mom for 2 seconds. I'd be like, I ain't heard nothing. I'd go look in his room, y'all. Window be open, nigga be gone, jacket be gone, just gone all the time. I would come home from school this particular time, and I came home from school. And my mom, obviously, I had a single parent household, so my mom worked a lot. I was the older brother, so, a lot of times I would get there, she would not be there. So I would get home, do what I had to do, clean up, whatever. One day I got home, and I was home for like a good hour, y'all. And I didn't even realize that my brother wasn't there, because usually he would either be there by the time I got there, or he would come in a little bit after me. So my mom calls me, and she's like, where's your brother? And I'm like, oh, shit, let me go look in the room. Child, I went and looked in that room. Yo, it wasn't nothing in that room but the carpet, okay? I don't know what the hell he had managed somehow. This is how it was, like I'm saying, mental illness. During the time that me and my mom were, she was at work, I was at school. Sometime during that time, this nigga had ended up, I guess, not getting on the school bus, coming back home while we were leaving, and had somebody move all his shit out. Again, this boy is only 14 years old. I don't even know who the hell. You don't even have cars in middle school, okay? Now, when I was in high school, yeah, you had freshmen that had cars or whatnot, but we're talking 14. That's not even old enough to drive, y'all. He had somebody move all this shit out. I'm talking about the TV was gone. His bed was gone. nothing was in there but the carpets, and the window wasn't open. So when I told my mom that, she was like, what you mean everything gone? I'm like, Mom, this nigga done moved everything out of his room. So yeah. And then come to find out, he was staying with this older guy. This isn't the time where he didn't come back. This was just one of the many times. But I had to throw that in there because just to show how obsessed and how, sick he was and obsessed with. Like, he had a running away addiction. I know that sounds weird. And once again, I know y'all gonna feel like, oh, well, it had to be something going on. You guys were... No, I mean, normal things far as, yeah, his father was not in his life. Not because we didn't know who he was or anything. He just had a deadbeat-ass father. That probably affected him knowing that I have a dad and he don't want to come and see me. But other than that, just regular single-parent household shit. It wasn't nothing going on. My mom worked really hard. I worked, too. I had a really good job, so... He didn't really have to do nothing, actually. He had it good. He was the baby. He didn't have to do shit but go to school and come home. And we weren't rich, but we weren't poor. You know what I'm saying? We still made sure he had not only the basic and necessities, but the things that he needed at that age to where he fit in, He had clothes, video games, phone, all that shit. So like I said, it wasn't nothing. And I would tell y'all, my mom was real hard on me growing up. So she used to beat the fuck out of me. Him, on the other hand, she took a different approach with him. So it was not a reason. It was just more so of a mental illness. And yeah, me and him, J Mac, we were not close like that. Like, we were close, don't get me wrong, but I did not like him when I was younger because he put us through so much stuff. Like, for real, he made us lose our house. It was a whole bunch of shit. Now that I'm older, I look back and I feel bad. But at the same time, I was young too. So I was not equipped with the necessary tools that I have now to look at the situation. Back then, I was still young, placed in an adult situation. Okay, I told y'all how I missed half my 5th grade year because he got kicked out of school and I had to basically stay home to watch him because no school, he couldn't go to school. Because he basically got kicked out. And they had expelled him from the district and homeschooled him. They wouldn't even allow him in the goddamn, that program where if you bad at school, so they just let you go to a little storefront center and do your work and it'd be easy. They wouldn't even let that nigga up in there. Okay. So by the time he got older, that's when he started running away. But yeah, he ran away and he showed up at my grandmother's house. Somehow he found a Greyhound when he got away. And he went to the Greyhound station. Once again, I don't know how he learned how to do this. I didn't even know you can go to the Greyhound if you are in some kind of emergency where you've been kidnapped or trafficked. Oh my God. My mom, to be honest, even back then when I said, I was mad at him when he ran away. So my mom was a fucking mess, okay? Obviously, she had to get rid of one of her jobs because... like I said, it's hard to work knowing one of your kids is missing. And then 2, she just couldn't hold it together. Me, I ain't gonna say I was fine, but I was not like sad and shit. I was just pissed because I was seeing what he was doing to my mom. You know what I mean? So I handled it better, I would say, just because I looked at it like this motherfucker, always doing some shit. Motherfucker want to be grown. That's how I was holding it. So my strength was able to keep her together, but she was a fucking mess. Even to this day, she still, that shit fucks her up. And I get it, that's her son, Alright, Barry, you already know that I'm iffy about who the fuck you are. So, tread lightly, okay? But, if you are in a fucked up situation, kidnapped, trafficked, you can go to a Greyhound station and let them know, and they will give you a one-way ticket, okay? Because that's what he did. He got away from the people somehow, and he made it to a Greyhound station, and that's how he got to my grandmother's house, because like I told you, she stayed in a whole different state. That ended up, when they called us, my mom, obviously she was happy, and then she moved, literally, that weekend, she moved back to California. And I ended up staying in Vegas because I had my own apartment. I had just graduated high school. I was working for social services. I wasn't about to leave all that. Just, I was happy they found my brother because it had been a year, and I had in the back of my head thought the worst had happened, but I couldn't do that in front of my mom. But once I found out that he was fine, I also at that time had just got that job working in the group homes and had my first apartment. So yeah, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go back out to California. Why would I give all this up just to go back out there and start from the beginning? So that's what happened. I tell you that to say that there was a girl missing around the corner. I don't know what number 124 MD is, but please don't be coming in here doing anything weird, because like I said, that's last warning. Rewind. So I connected that to the story I want to talk about now. It was a girl out here missing that she doesn't stay close to me, but she stayed nothing is far out here, but she stayed by my barbershop. I know this area really well, and if you live out here in Vegas, then you know what I'm about to, the area that I'm about to talk about. This girl ended up missing. She was around 17 years old, and she went to the McDonald's across the street, and they didn't find, she never came back home, right? So her parents had called the cops, and the cops basically had did the same thing. They thought that she was just running away. She was like a rebel or something like that. And to me, I just always feel like, yeah, a lot of the times when a kid is missing, it do be that they just left or the parents are just over paranoid. However, every single time, y'all need to follow up and investigate it as if they are missing, because the police invest so much time in shit that really, like jaywalking or pulling people over, just like the shit with Sandra Bland. Like, they will jump over mountains just to lock you up, or they will do all this bullshit thinking that they're going to find something, pulling you over thinking you doing something you're not supposed to, and then find out that you don't have no drugs in the car or you have everything up to date. And they'll still, since they made this big ass scene, find something to put you in jail for. So if they can waste resources for that, they need to, every time a kid is missing, somebody that's under 18, they need to, even over that, they need to treat each time, they need to treat it like this person might be in danger. It's so sad. Usually I can watch TV and not be like affected by stories. I'm kind of desensitized, to keep it 100, but every once in a while, shit just fucking, it hits me. And I know a lot of people see in the headlines about all of these missing black women. And even with that, I feel like we see it so much, we desensitize. We just see it and be like, oh yeah, that's sad, that's sad. Oh yeah, people are missing. But every once in a while, you will see somebody on the news, and for some reason, it just really will relate to you. Whether it be their face or they, description, or just remind you of somebody that you may know. And it hits home. And this story, it did hit home to me. I've also seen the people around before. So the family members of this girl that I'm talking about, I've seen them around, because if you stay out here in Vegas, once again, everybody know everybody. It's not as big as everybody think it is. And if you are definitely, if you're a local, you're going to see people more than once. So if you've been out here for a minute, then everybody knows everybody. So this girl, yeah, they thought that she was just running away or whatnot. And shout out to Fact Check TV. I'm going to tag her. Fact Check TV, if y'all know who she is. I found her when I was in the Kanika Jenkins sector. Now, I ain't like everybody else over there that I didn't go crazy like Lady Snoop and everybody else and start believing that my uncle is actually my father and my sister is my grandma and all that weird shit and conspiracy. That ain't me. But a lot of those channels ended up, once it was that case was over, they spiraled and started to still use their platform to do different stuff. So let's get into this really quick. I think that this will explain it better than I can, because I don't want to start getting emotional here, because the fuck shit is gonna come on. I still gotta talk about the fuck shit, and I don't want to be in my feelings. Oh, and just let you know, I am going to get back talking to the stuff that I was before on my channel within the past couple of weeks. It's been kind of, and rightfully so, I've been clapping back because I was really passive a lot last year. And sometimes you got to crack the whip to let people know, just because I let a lot of shit go and I don't let a lot of stuff affect me, don't think that you can just, walk all over me, because you can't. So I will start to get back to the topics like this right here, mentioning important stuff to me that I see going on in the world, because I'm not ignorant to think that people in our sector don't care or want to know other things that are going on. You just have to keep things interesting. You feel me? That's it. The video that y'all about to see, just to prefix it, I told you guys she went to the McDonald's, right? Now it's two different stories. Her family says she just went across the street to the McDonald's so she can use the Wi-Fi because her phone's off. The other story is that she got put out, okay? She got put out of her house. She was 17 years old, so she is a little bit older, but she got put out of her house. That is the second story going around. We don't know to this day what happened, but that's what happened. She went to this McDonald's, and this video you're about to see is a video of a weird, basically a crackhead, y'all. Okay? She sent this video of a crackhead to her family members, like, like, ha ha ha, look at this crackhead, right? And then she disappeared. So that's all I'm gonna tell you. But it is so funny how sometimes a perfect storm of things can happen, and you think you know what happened, and you really don't. But I just wanted to tell y'all what y'all about to see with this man. Because I skipped, I ain't trying to have y'all sad, all that funeral music. I had to skip past some of that shit. Here you go. And I've seen that crackhead. He be over there too. That guy y'all just saw doing all that twitching and shit and the head bobbing. Yeah, I be seeing him too. I've seen him a lot of times too. Just to let y'all know. But here you go.
This is a tragic end to a months-long search for 17-year-old Tamaya Trotter. Her family told me they've been searching for her since December 12th, only to find out that a man who lives down the street is accused of killing her. December 14th, she also did some of her own searching.
Blowing up the police, hiring a private investigator, putting up flyers, looking all over for this girl.
The last time Ward saw Tamaya, December 12th.
She left and said she'd be back. Her phone wasn't on, so we knew that she was probably just going to go across the street to McDonald's to use Wi-Fi.
According to police, Tamaya went to the McDonald's on MLK and Lake Mead and ran into Jayshawn Bailey. I read in his arrest report that Tamaya told him her family kicked her out of the house, so he said she could stay with him.
This is 17. She was old enough to make her own choices, but she was not kicked out.
Bailey told police Tamaya sent him a message on Snapchat accepting his offer to stay over. When she got there, Bailey was on Xanax drinking wine. He says she drank too. Bailey said she got aggressive, pulled out a taser, and started to use it. So he put her in a headlock for about 10 seconds. She stopped breathing shortly after.
There's no reason for someone to do this to her. She's only 17.
In her neighborhood. This is down from Ward. His family says they had no clue she was in the house.
I never seen her in here. I don't even invite kids into this house.
Bailey told police he was scared to go to jail for murder, so he moved Tamaya's body to the neighborhood.
First off, I was like, hold up, lady. Hold on, bitch. Okay, first off, I'm gonna need you to take that attitude down a couple notches, okay? While you over here having your son murder bitches up in the house and shit while you not here, okay? Because 9 times out of 10, bitch, you knew something happened, okay? So, take it down a notch or two, okay? Okay. Child. Grown-ass man. And what really pissed me off about this story was that, only thing I can give this man credit for, it ain't even no fucking credit. He turned himself in. Because they would have never known it was him. They had nothing to connect him back to her. And, nothing to connect him back to her. And they had already thought that it was that crackhead that we saw earlier. So ain't that kind of just a perfect storm? Like, she don't have no phone. Okay? So she went there to use Wi-Fi. The last video that she sent to her family was of that crackhead, and then she just disappeared. And he looked like, obviously, the type of motherfucker that'd do something weird. So imagine, like, your child or your sister or whoever goes missing, and the last time you heard from them is them sending you a video of some stranger, you know what I'm saying, some crazy man. You're gonna have everything crazy going through your mind. But then what really pisses me off is this man, this grown-ass man, who, she's 17, okay? That's still not 18. Men will change the whole direction of their life, will risk everything over some coochie. I mean, not only, and then you're admitting to giving her alcohol, which is underage. You know what I'm saying? Because the story you told was a lie. Okay, don't tell me that y'all was just drinking, popping pills, and she just took out a taser and tried to attack you. So you put her in a headlock? That don't make no sense. It don't. And then, I'll let you finish it.
Sewer drain, but he said the guilt of knowing what he did prompted him to call 911 about a month later.